What if the story of Christ you were given was not just incomplete, but intentionally silenced, not edited for clarity, but cut for control? What if the most dangerous part of the message was removed because it gave you too much power? What if Christ was never meant to be worshipped from a distance, but embodied from within? And what if the version you were taught trained obedience, not awakening? If this already feels familiar, comment this once and keep listening. I'm done with safe versions of truth. You've been told the story is finished, closed, canonized. But what if that was the lie? What if the original blueprint of reality was hidden because it reveals not just who Christ was, but who you are? You think the goal is belief, but it was always remembrance. Not rules, not fear, not waiting, awakening. And here's the twist. You think this is ancient history, but this is about your life right now. In 1945, near Nag Hammadi in Egypt, a farmer digging for fertilizer uncovered sealed clay jars. Inside were leather-bound codices, ancient Christian writings hidden for centuries, what we now call the Nag Hammadi Library. These texts don't present a slightly different Jesus. They reveal a different architecture of reality. Sayings meant to awaken the divine spark, visions of 12 vast universes, a forgotten design of creation. Together, they form a map that was buried because it could not be controlled. And here's the part most people miss. These weren't written by outsiders. They were written by early Christians, Gnostic mystics, visionaries who saw Christ not as a distant savior, but as a cosmic revealer. So why were they hidden? Why labeled heresy? Why burned? Because within these texts lives a Christ who cannot be owned. Not a Christ on a pedestal, a Christ to be awakened inside you. A Christ who exposes the archonic prison of illusion. In this exploration, we move through the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Philip, the secret book of John, and the Sophia of Jesus Christ. But don't miss the real question underneath all of it. What does rediscovering this mean for you, for the life you wake up to every day? Because this doesn't just change how you see Christ. It changes how you see reality. To understand why Nag Hammadi matters, you have to step into the first centuries after Christ. Christianity was not unified. There was no fixed Bible. There were many Gospels, letters, revelations, and mystical teachings circulating among communities. Among them were the Gnostics. They called themselves knowers, not believers. For them, faith was not obedience. It was inner remembering. They taught that inside you is a divine spark, a fragment of the eternal source trapped in matter. And Christ, in their vision, did not come merely to die for you. He came to awaken you, to remind you who you are, to guide your escape from the illusion mistaken for reality. If you've ever felt like life is slightly off, like you're playing a role in a system that doesn't feel real, you've already touched this insight. But this message was dangerous. Dangerous to institutions built on fear and hierarchy. By the 4th century, at councils like Nicaea, certain texts were canonized, others were declared heresy. Writings that taught inner sovereignty and awakening were destroyed, yet truth does not vanish, it hides. Someone buried the Nag Hammadi texts instead of burning them. They waited in silence until 1945. When opened, they revealed a treasury, the Gospel of Thomas with 114 sayings of Jesus, the Gospel of Philip with its mystery of sacred union, the secret book of John with its vast cosmology of light and deception, and the Sophia of Jesus Christ, describing multiple universes and the hidden structure of reality. These texts break the frame. They teach that salvation is not given from outside, but awakened from within. The Gospel of Mary Magdalene declares, "The Son of Man is within you, follow him." You were trained to look up and outward. These writings tell you to look inward and remember. They reject a wrathful God demanding obedience. Instead, they reveal the demiurge, a blind creator who traps souls in ignorance. They speak of Aeons, emanations of divine light; of Sophia, wisdom, who stumbled in creation yet became key to redemption. Reality is layered, symbolic, multidimensional. Christ is not only Savior, but guide through this hidden architecture. Start with the Gospel of Thomas. No birth story, no crucifixion, no resurrection narrative, only sayings. One declares, "The kingdom is inside of you and outside of you. When you know yourselves, you will realize you are children of the living Father." Hear that. The kingdom is not in temples, not in rituals, not in a future apocalypse. It is here, now, hidden within you. You think the kingdom is somewhere else, but it's a shift in perception. In Thomas, salvation is not belief, it is gnosis, direct knowing. The call is not, "Believe in me," it is, "Awaken what I show you." The dialogue of the Savior reinforces this. The lamp of the body is the mind. As long as what is within you is ordered, your bodies are enlightened. Enlightenment is inner order, not performance, not appearance. If you've ever looked fine while feeling chaotic inside, you know this split. Now the Gospel of Philip, fragmented on the surface, but focused on sacred union. It speaks of the bridal chamber, where the fragmented soul is made whole. It says, "Truth did not come naked into the world, but in types and images. Truth is veiled, hidden in symbols." Sacraments are not ends, they are signs pointing inward. Take them literally, and you miss them. Enter their mystery, and you awaken. Philip and the dialogue also elevate Mary Magdalene. She is not marginal. She questions, she understands, she is companion to the Savior. This restores balance between masculine and feminine, wholeness. If you feel drained by a world that rewards control but ignores wisdom, you already feel this imbalance. Then the secret book of John, a sweeping cosmology. It begins in the pleroma, the fullness of light. Aeons emanate from the source. Among them is Sophia. She creates without her partner. From this comes the demiurge, a blind creator who fashions the material world and declares himself God. The Gnostics saw this as the explanation for suffering and oppression, not because the true source is cruel, but because a lesser power mistook itself for the highest. Christ descends not to glorify this world, but to expose its counterfeit nature and awaken the divine spark in humanity. You were told life is a test, obey and be rewarded. The Gnostic vision flips that. Life is a prison of illusion. Christ is the liberator who shows the cracks, not through blind faith, through knowledge. Remembering. This matters because if Nag Hammadi is right, your spiritual journey is not about waiting for salvation. It is about remembering what is already inside you. That is why these texts were buried. A Christ who says, "The kingdom is within," cannot be controlled. A Christ who reveals symbols makes every seeker sovereign. A Christ who exposes illusion threatens every empire built on obedience. Thomas records Jesus saying, "Whoever drinks from my mouth will become as I am, and the hidden things will be revealed." This is not worship from afar. This is embodiment. Becoming the Christ light. The Sophia of Jesus Christ goes further. It describes 12 vast universes, not random, 12 signs, 12 tribes, 12 gates, 12 as cosmic order. These universes are not distant galaxies. They are dimensions of consciousness, layers of illusion, rungs on a ladder, guiding the soul back to the source. The soul moves through these layers, confronting rulers and illusions, until it remembers its origin in eternal light. Instead of heaven versus hell, reality is a layered multiverse of awakening and return. Modern science now speaks of dimensions and parallel realities. The Gnostics pointed at this long ago in symbolic language. Here's where it becomes personal. These universes mirror your inner life. Every time you rise above fear, you ascend a layer. Every time you choose compassion over control, you remember. You don't need all 12, just the next step. If this challenges your old image of Christ, say it in the comments, and subscribe if you want to keep exploring beyond surface-level spirituality. Now look at your life. The speed, the noise, the constant stimulation. You wake up to a screen, you chase metrics. You succeed and still feel empty. Smart, but not peaceful. Connected, but lonely. I've sat with cold coffee, scrolling the same apps, feeling nothing land. It's almost funny. Infinite information, zero nourishment. That's the split these texts describe. Intellect without wisdom, light outside, dark inside. Social systems reward output, not awareness. Even religion sometimes punishes questions. No wonder you feel restless. That ache is not failure, it's memory. The tension between illusion and truth, between the demiurge's world of control and the Christ within. That 3 A.M. restlessness, the looping thoughts. It's not just anxiety, it's a crack in the illusion, a moment where the mask slips. The blueprint isn't about escaping life. It's about healing this split, making inside like outside, choosing wisdom over autopilot. So, make it practical. Tomorrow morning before your phone, sit for 10 seconds, hand on your chest. Ask quietly, where is the kingdom today? Don't force it, just notice. That's the ritual. Simple, human, remembering. The dialogue of the Savior calls fear and anger powers of darkness, not because they're evil, but because they trap you. Next time fear rises, ask, is this truth or conditioning? That question alone weakens its grip. That's ascent. When you make the inside like the outside, Thomas says, you enter the kingdom. That's alignment, integrity, wholeness. Nag Hammadi reveals a Christ who awakens, not dominates. Thomas shows the kingdom is already here. Philip shows truth veiled in symbols. John unmasks false powers. Sophia reveals a cosmic architecture of return. Why was this buried? Because it makes you sovereign. Salvation is not granted, it is remembered. Now the blueprint is back in your awareness. The question is simple. Do you treat it as information or as invitation? Do you stay inside illusion or begin walking the map? This is not someone else's story, it's yours. If something in you feels recognized, not convinced, comment what stayed with you, and subscribe if you want to keep walking this path of remembering. Because Nag Hammadi is not just history, it's a set of living keys, and the light you've been searching for has been inside you the whole time, waiting for you to stop forgetting and finally remember.